I created the Facebook group Wolfpack Hustle because riding with a bunch of people is like being on an adventure together. Everybody's invited, no matter what. The more we come together, the more fun we have.
Ended the last season in the round of 16, but they entered 2018 ranked in the top 15 as they look to build off of last year's success.
That's right, Juan Jose. And the Irish also made it to the ACC quarterfinals where they lost to NC State. This year they're projected to go 7th in the ACC. But being the strongest soccer conference in America, who knows where the Irish will stack up this year.
And you see a lot of those ACC opponents on Notre Dame's schedule, so it'll be an exciting time throughout the fall as the Irish take on many of those ranked teams. We take a look at the players to watch in this one. Juniors squaring off on their attacks. Jen Westendorf for Notre Dame, Sienna Cruz for Loyola.
And Jen's back in the lineup after being out for 2 games with an apparent injury. And as we know, Juan Jose, she's got a deadly left foot. Looking to get shots off a lot for the Irish today. And then headed over to Sienna Cruz. Scored 2 goals in their home opener against UMass. Strong, athletic, powerful. She's looking to put up a couple more against the Irish today.
Just minutes away from kickoff here at Alumni Stadium. Loyola and Notre Dame next on the ACC Network Extra.
An Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
We are the University of Notre Dame.
This college will be one of the most powerful means for doing good in this country.
Notre Dame is a place where differences of culture and religion and conviction can coexist with friendship and civility and even love.
We've been entrusted with Notre Dame to pass it on to the next generation in a way that will influence the world for another 175 years.
An Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
We are the University of Notre Dame.
This college will be one of the most powerful means for doing good in this country.
Notre Dame is a place where differences of culture and religion and conviction can coexist with friendship and civility and even love.
With Notre Dame to pass it on to the next generation in a way that will influence the world for another 175 years.
An Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
We are the University of Notre Dame.
This college will be one of the most powerful means for doing good in this country.
Notre Dame is a place where differences of culture and religion and conviction can coexist with friendship and civility and even love.
We've been entrusted with Notre Dame to pass it on to the next generation in a way that will influence the world for another 175 years.
Welcome back to South Bend, Indiana, where the 14th ranked Fighting Irish square off against the Loyola Ramblers. Notre Dame got off to a good start against Central Michigan, and a big part of that was Eva Herm. The sophomore scored 2 goals and answered a big question for Notre Dame heading into the season. Who will be the primary goal scorer? Jennifer Westendorf, second on the team in goals a season ago, returns, but Natalie Jacobs, the leading goal scorer, no longer with the program. So who will step up and replace that production? We'll just have to wait and see, Juan Jose.
2017, only 1 goal for the entire season, but opening up the 2018 campaign with a pair of goals against Central Michigan. And Katie, it'll be really interesting to see how she takes that next step in becoming a real contributing factor in this Irish attack.
And as you remember, Juan Jose, she was out with an injury for the most of the season last year, but came back for the Irish in the postseason play and had a key goal in their victory against A&M in the second round of the NCAA.
And Eva Herm will be one of those mainstays at the top of this Irish attack. As we take a look at the starting lineups, freshman Maddie Interian gets the start at goal. That's one of a couple of changes in this Irish starting 11 led by head coach Nate Norman.
Yeah, and Brooke Littman did start last game, but Interian and Littman have been splitting halves in the preseason, so not surprised at all that Interian's getting the start today. Just trying to get a different look at things. But as you can see, 2 other freshmen in the starting lineup for the Irish. Brooke Van Dyke scored her first career goal against Central Michigan in their victory on Thursday. And then Brianna Martinez playing actually outside back today, looking to get her up top, flying forward and put some crosses into the box.
Yeah, that back line of Ward Hendricks and Rachel Hurd, who celebrates her 21st birthday today. A very experienced back line to support Brianna Martinez and freshman goalkeeper Maddie Interian in the back of the net. We take a look at Loyola's lineup, also a 4-3-3 just like Notre Dame's, and Tatterin, Cruz, Hardiman up top, and we see Moran in goal, a little bit inexperienced, but started the opener. We'll see how she fares tonight.
Yeah, and they lost their senior goalkeeper last year, but she had a great game against their first match against UMass Lowell. But again, watch for number 11. She's going to be their goal scorer today.
So getting set for kickoff from Alumni Stadium, Notre Dame and Loyola, and we are underway as the Irish play it forward. Irish come into today 1-0 after their opener win against Central Michigan. Loyola also coming off a 4-2 win against UMass Lowell.
And again, 2 high-scoring games for both teams. But as you remember, Juan Jose, Loyola finished second in the NCAA with highest amount of goals scored in the season with 61. That's still 30 behind Stanford, who scored 91, a remarkable total for a season.
And Stanford was last year's national champion team. So Loyola, we've definitely seen their offensive prowess from last year and coming into this year trying to build upon that. They put up 4 against UMass Lowell and trying to really continue that offensive success. As the Irish cross over to Brooke Van Dyke, one of those freshmen getting the start today. Van Dyke scored the game winner against Central Michigan and really in front of her home crowd. Van Dyke, a native of South Bend and a graduate of Penn High School, so coming back to South Bend and playing in front of her home crowd, really a good sight to see.
There's an interesting twist to that story, Juan Jose. She's actually missing out on her senior year of high school this year. She graduated a year early, and she's out for the Irish out here right now, making an impact on the field. Again, great game on Thursday. She played really well in the midfield. She's up top today, and yeah, looking to make a big impact this year on the field.
So foregoing her senior year of high school to join the Irish on the field, and what you have to imagine was a long-time dream coming true for Brooke Van Dyke, being able to play for her hometown Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
For sure, and you don't see that very often in women's sports, at least. So Interian was also early enrollee, but she just missed 1 semester of her high school career. Van Dyke, a whole year, that's almost unheard of. In her previous interview for South Bend Tribune, she said, "I like high school, but I love Notre Dame."
That's a great sign. You see the dedication, the commitment to playing for Notre Dame with Brooke Van Dyke, and she really responded in a big way coming out with that strong game to start out. Brianna Martinez on the right side, crossing it into Westendorf. Westendorf with that left foot that really, Katie, you profiled early on in that broadcast. Very strong left foot that she brings back from her sophomore season.
Very strong. You give her a little bit of space, she's going to take the shot. Doesn't matter, 25 yards out, 18 yards out. If she gets a look, she's going to hit it.
That really makes her a dangerous threat from anywhere on the field, because if you're a defense, you have to respect the fact that Westendorf can take a shot from just about any spot on the field if she has just the slightest bit of open space.
Exactly right, Juan Jose, and that opens up a lot of good space for other players as well.
And we saw that against Central Michigan when Wessendorf was out with an injury, so unable to play in the last game, but the Irish still able to put up 3 goals against a very good Central Michigan team and were able to respond with the win even with the Wessendorf out. Alexi Martella-Moth trying to head it forward to Brooke Van Dyke. Van Dyke in a battle with Taylor Lamboris, the senior defender. Van Dyke wins it back. Back into the middle for Martella-Moth, and the Irish reset. Shannon Hendrick starting this year playing at center back after, for the majority of her career, playing on the outside. So still on that back line, but moving in as opposed to playing out where you see Rachel Hurd on the near side.
It's definitely a different look for Shannon Hendricks after playing outside back for so long. But after Jenny McGowan left, graduated this past year, Coach Norman asked Shannon to step up in that central back role, and she's going to do a great job there.
Loyola pushing forward. Gets it over to Cruz in the middle of the field. Cruz has help, and Freya Glenn on the outside. And chipped away nicely by Brianna Martinez to stop that Loyola attack. Martinez, a freshman from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Good read there from the freshman defender.
So foul on the Ramblers, and the Irish will come back the other way. And good to see those freshmen making an impact early. You saw Martinez. You saw Brooke Van Dyke earlier.
That's exactly right. And we've gotten looks at other freshmen, too, in previous games. Kelly Moss, number 30, on the playing up top. Nikki Colantino also joining the forward line. So far, I'm very impressed with this freshman class.
And, of course, Maddie and Tyrion getting the start today in goal. Brooke Littman started the opener against Central Michigan. But it'll be, at least for the moment, a timeshare, if you will, behind the back line until Coach Norman decides on a clear-cut favorite. So Littman played the entirety of the first game, and Tyrion getting the start today, and we'll see how that that role shakes out over the next few games.
And that goalkeeper position is up for grabs now with the graduation of senior Lexi Nicholas. She played the majority of last season. Brooke Littman got some starts as well.
Wessendorf into the box. Back out to Van Dyke. Van Dyke with the shot blocked. Ball rattling around. Wessendorf took the shot. That one rattles away as well. Van Dyke with the recovery. Irish keeping it in their attacking third. Sammy Fisher chips it on ahead.
That was a great look for the Irish there. I think 3 shots in total. A couple got blocked. We're going to take another look at that shot from Jen Wessendorf. Keeper Moran should be thanking her post on that one. It rattled off. I think the goal jumped back a few feet.
And you mentioned Wessendorf with just a little bit of open space, this time electing not to take the shot, but passing out. And the Irish able to find some good shot opportunities from Van Dyke and a couple of others before eventually that possession ended in an offsides call.
Yeah, it did. And again, good look from Jen Wessendorf. That left foot, I'm telling you, she's going to put one in the back of the net today.
So 6.5 gone from Alumni Stadium. Still scoreless. Irish with the only 3 shots on the board. Deflected in off the header by Freya Glenn, but lands peacefully in the arms of Maddie and Tyrion, freshman out of Pasadena, California. Played a little bit in the preseason, but was held out in the season opener against Central Michigan.
And like we were saying before, keeper position's up for grabs. Both keepers don't have much experience in back of the net, and Tyrion athletic, young, but still inexperienced. Brooke Littman brings a little more experience, also very athletic. So we'll see who can differentiate themselves early in the season to grab that starter spot.
Yeah, Littman was the goalie for the first 10 games of last season. She started 9 of those. Gave up only 10 goals in her time as the starter. 31 saves, a save percentage above 75%. So clearly a lot of talent back there. And Littman didn't even allow a goal until the 3rd game of the year. That was a 1-1 draw against Minnesota. So definitely a lot of talent in that goalkeeper position between Brooke Littman and Maddie and Tyrion. as well as Jana Eckert, another freshman coming in. So Coach Norman has a lot of options from which he can choose. As tangled up in the middle of the field is Cruz and a couple of Irish midfielders.
And you'll see Cruz to Cruz sister there. Loyola is one of 3 teams to have 2 sets of identical twins. See Savannah and Sienna Cruz out in the field right now. We've got one of the Patel sisters starting at center back. Another Patel sister, goalkeeper for the Ramblers as well.
Gopika Patel, a sophomore defender for the Ramblers. Radhika Patel, a sophomore goalkeeper. Irish into the box. Tried to play it out to Wessendorf on the edge of the 6-yard box, but was deflected away. Loyola coming back with it.
Unlucky for Herm there. You can see her speed down the line. Beats her player. Tries to cut into the middle. Tries to find Westendorf, but couldn't quite get the pass off.
And we've seen that speed from Herm now on quite a few occasions going back to the last game as well, and really trying to put some pressure on that back line. Loyola will take back possession after a collision just inside the edge of the box. And Kate Moran will send this one downfield. Moran allowed 2 goals against UMass Lowell on 6 shots on goal, but only played in 2 games a season ago, so a bit of inexperience on both sides in the keeper position, both for Notre Dame and Loyola. As Jenna Ross brings it up the right side, tried to cross it in, but nobody home for Loyola. And Interior ranges over to pick it up.
And yes, inexperience in the keeper position, but for the most part for Loyola, a lot of returners on the field. Only freshman to get a start is Abby Swanson, number 12, playing in the midfield. And this Loyola team is actually preseason MVC champion favorite.
And this is a Rambler team that returns over half, almost 2/3 of their scoring production from a season ago. Turned over on the Irish's defensive side. Loyola trying to make a run at this. Played back in the middle, then over to the right side with Alexa Tatarin. Tatarin with the right foot, deflected. Not cleared yet by the Irish. Interior got a hand on it.
That was an excellent look at goal for Tatarin. Great cross into the middle. Went right across the Irish mouth of the goal. Just couldn't quite find one of her forwards to put it in.
And Interior had a play on it, but couldn't come up with it cleanly. As we take another look here, Interior gets a hand on it. Plays it wide, so forcing Loyola to range back for it.
I think the Irish got a little lucky there. Marking was a little soft in the middle. Cruz could have put that in, but I think the Irish got away with one there.
So still scoreless. Just over 11 minutes gone here from Alumni Stadium. Both teams now with a couple of good offensive chances. Martinez tried to pick it up along the near sideline, but unable to reach it in time.
And both teams so far have shared a lot of the possession. Good looks from both teams. But the game's starting to settle in. We'll see who keeps more control of the ball.
Ranging back to collect is Rachel Hurd. Plays it back to Interior. Rachel Hurd celebrating her 21st birthday today. Played upfield. A long pass to Sammy Fisher, who controls. Brings it back into the middle. Up ahead, intended for Westendorf. Natalie Ward also playing up. And there you go, Katie. You mentioned those outside backs maybe coming up forward a little bit. And there you saw Natalie Ward doing just that.
And Coach Norman has the Irish playing their characteristics 4-3-3, but he's asking those outside backs, Brianna Martinez and Natalie Ward, to push all the way up. As you can see right now, both Martinez and Ward in the attack. Only 2 back for the Irish. Very attacking-minded, but leaves them open to counterattack.
Van Dyke trying to play it in, but blocked away and sent all the way downfield by Loyola. Hurd once again back to play it. And I think we'll see Loyola really trying to exploit that with Notre Dame only having 2 players back for the most part, with bringing so many of their defenders and midfielders up forward, you might see Loyola try to really counter and go on the attack more often than you normally see against this Notre Dame team.
For sure. So far, very defensive from Loyola, but I think Coach Bimby will have those outside forwards push up and try to exploit that space in the outside.
And our first substitution of the day for the Ramblers, Ari Banks coming into the game. Banks, a junior midfielder out of Wisconsin. Fisher back with it, plays it over to Martinez. Martinez previously competed with the United States women's national team, the under-18 women's national team. Inside of the box, looking for Herm, was Flores. He played all the way back out to Alexi Martel-Lamoth. Flores retreats to pick it up. Here's Fisher with the right foot, blocked by Patel. Hurd comes forward to pick it up. She finds Martinez along the right side. Martinez looking to cross. She makes a nice move on the defender. Inside the box to Flores and blocked nicely by Lindsay Hardiman, who's looking to go the other way. Van Dyke takes the pass to keep it in play for the Irish. Looking forward for Herm. Flag stays down. She's onside, looking to cross it in. Pass overshoots Natalie Ward, and Loyola will look to go the other way.
Awesome turn there from Sienna Cruz. Great turn. Couldn't quite find her twin sister there for the pass, though.
So the Irish now with 4 shots, just 1 for the Ramblers. 15 minutes gone from Alumni Stadium, still scoreless. Glad to have you with us. Alongside Katie Euler, I'm Juan Jose Rodriguez on this beautiful Sunday afternoon from South Bend, Indiana. A day in which Notre Dame historically, or at least last season, was very talented and very good on Sundays, Katie, and you were a part of that during your senior season last year. You guys had a lot of success and had a lot of wins, picking up a lot of goals, really, on Sunday afternoons.
That's right. We were very successful on Sunday afternoons. I guess we just got an extra burst of energy in the morning. I'm not sure really what it was, but Coach Romanolo, who was head coach last year, would always tell us, I wish all of our games were on Sundays.
So Loyola will bring on another substitute as Savannah Cruz exits. Kat Stevens will come on to replace her. Sophomore forward from Aurora, Illinois. Martella-Moth with the turn. She plays it over to Fisher. Sammy Fisher has it taken away by Sienna Cruz. Tatarin comes forward once again, trying to get by Shannon Hendricks. Hendricks able to block it off nicely.
Good run there from Tatarin, but Hendricks did a great job of putting her body in front of Tatarin as she tried to push the ball past her and blocked her out, safely cleared.
So what kind of adjustments do you think somebody like Shannon Hendricks has to make from playing outside as opposed to now moving inside?
For a center back, Hendricks is a little small, I have to be honest. And she just has to focus on physical play, getting her body into the right position to make sure she can cut off any pass that might go through or put her body in front of her defender as they try to run past her.
So far, passing those tests this afternoon, as Martinez will throw it back in for the Irish. Looks for Flores streaking down the right side. Over to Van Dyke. Van Dyke with the left foot looking for Fisher. All the way back out to Hendricks, right around midfield. As she and Natalie Ward play catch.
good movement across the back line for the Irish so far. They're just trying to shift the Loyola defense, see where they can find an opening, and start their attack.
Switching the field now to the right side. Martinez over to Van Dyke. Into the middle for Fisher. Deflected away by Abby Swanson. Long pass intended for Westendorf. Deflects away. The possession will go to Loyola. Lamboris will have the throw-in. Fisher at midfield plays it back to Hendricks. Hendricks and Hurd, part of that experienced back line for the Irish. You have Natalie Ward, Hendricks, and Rachel Hurd, all seniors, to go along with Brandon Martinez, the freshman along that back line. Maddie Interian, also a freshman in goal for Notre Dame. If you're just joining us, Maddie Interian getting the start today in goal for Notre Dame after Brooke Littman got the start and played the entirety of Notre Dame's season opener against Central Michigan.
And like we talked about before, Juan Jose, both very good keepers. Athletic, but lacking in experience. So Nate Norm is just trying to see which goalkeeper differentiates themselves in these next few games. Who's going to grab that starting spot?
Karen Muya enters the game for the first time. She replaces Natalie Ward.
And you know, Muya coming off that foot injury last year that left her out the entire season. So really good to see her back out there.
That one handled by Moran, just in front of the net. Yeah, Muya's the only graduate student on this Notre Dame roster in 2018. So she'll be looking to provide that veteran leadership. Ball goes out of play for a throw-in for the Irish. Hurd with the header, trying to play it back forward. Martinez gives it back. That's Kat Stevens, who just entered the game, giving chase, putting a little bit of pressure on Rachel Hurd. Battle of 17s up there with Stevens and Hurd. As Martella Moth gets taken down, it'll be a foul on the Ramblers.
Quick restart by the Irish. I'd like to see that a lot. Definitely catch Loyola off balance a little bit and see if they can't catch them by surprise.
Muya over to the right side for Flores. To Martinez. The freshman against the senior Lamboris. Up ahead for Westendorf, but just a little too heavy.
Not a bad look from Sabrina, just a little too heavy on the pass for Westendorf.
So a great crowd here on hand for this Notre Dame Loyola matchup. Let's go down to Holden Pirelli, our third member of the crew, to take a look at exactly what this crowd brings to the table.
Well, thank you very much, Juan Jose. Welcome weekend in full effect on the campus of Notre Dame. All the students starting to come back. This soccer game is one of the few athletic events, first few opportunities here for the freshmen to check out Notre Dame athletics, check out women's soccer. We got the cheerleaders, we got the leprechaun, we got the whole deal, and a full crowd, as you can see. Great turnout for the Fighting Irish, Juan Jose.
And Alumni Stadium is packed this afternoon as the Irish looking to pick up their second win of 2018. Thank you, Holden.
Great atmosphere. As players, we always feed off the energy of the crowd. Definitely gives a boost.
Flores over to Martinez on the right side. Can the Irish get their first goal of the afternoon? Martinez crosses in. Herm with the right foot. Just sails wide. And Loyola clears it off the sideline.
Good look from Martinez. We saw a lot of that on Thursday. Great crosses input by both Martinez and Herm. But same story for the Irish. Who's going to get on the end of one of these crosses? Who's going to show...
Westendorf!
Oh,
yeah, just as you were getting ready to say that, Westendorf with that left foot, as we've seen so often throughout the start of this game. Taking a shot from well outside the box, just a bit too high.
Again, she uses her body to turn her defender and just get that quick look on the off her left foot. Almost, just right over the crossbar.
Yeah, and they say soccer's a game of inches, and really that one didn't miss the crossbar by much. Definitely that one would have brought the crowd to its feet here at Alumni Stadium. You mentioned really feeding off that energy.
Definitely, and also for the Irish this year, the bench has been standing up for the whole game. Good energy off the bench, and some players that have definitely made a difference. For example, Olivia Wingate, freshman, came off the bench on Thursday night, brought great energy, and almost nabbed her first career goal. Post was just there to block it, unfortunately.
And it's good to see that energy from the bench, especially from those younger players that are just arriving onto the scene here in South Bend, really contributing that energy and really a team atmosphere to the fullest extent.
Definitely, Juan Jose, and that's something that Coach Norman's been preaching as he stepped up first season as a head coach. And this Irish team is so deep. Anyone can come off the bench and make an impact.
But Norman's no stranger to this Notre Dame program, was an assistant last year, spent time here as a player from 2003 to 2006. He's an 07 grad with a major in theology.
No, you're right, Juan Jose. He's a Notre Dame guy. He knows what Notre Dame's all about, and he just wants to create the best Notre Dame experience for his players.
And at the same time, he comes back to Notre Dame with some head coaching experience. 4 years as a head coach at Western Michigan, a year as a head coach at Liberty. So he brings that combination of Notre Dame experience and head coaching experience. As that ball goes well long and right into the hands of Maddie and Tyrion.
And then Juan Jose also joining the staff this year, Lauren Sinicola, who was with Norman at Western Michigan. After he left to go to Liberty, she took over the head coaching job at Western Michigan and now joins up with the Irish.
So some great experience on the Notre Dame sideline, as the Irish welcome a pair of new coaches on both the women's and the men's side. Chad Riley joins the men's staff after 4 years at Dartmouth, but also a former player at Notre Dame and a former assistant of the Irish. And interestingly, Norman and Riley, so the two new head coaches at Notre Dame this year, both were teammates on Notre Dame's men's soccer team under head coach Bobby Clark in 2003. So some familiarity between Norman and Riley. They played together, actually had the same major here at Notre Dame. And now they join the Irish as two new head coaches. Here's Herm inside, but just missing the post wide.
And Eva Herm again showing her speed on that play. Doesn't even throw a move. Just takes a touch past her defender and bolts by her. Another good look, almost identical to the goal she scored in the first half against Central Michigan on Thursday.
So a corner to be taken from the near side. Here's Flores. First corner of the afternoon by either side. Into the box. Taken down was Martinez.
Referee says no.
No call on the play. And out of disgust, Eva Herm thought she had possession after the ball traveled over the sideline. But here's another look at that play. Martinez getting taken down. The referee said no foul.
Here's that play again. See, just a little physical play. There wasn't much there. She just lost her footing. Yeah, good call by the referee on that one.
So a couple of more substitutions to update. Madison Kimball comes in for Ari Banks. Olivia Wingate on the Notre Dame side comes in for Brooke Van Dyke. So freshman for freshman switch for the Irish.
Again, good stuff from Van Dyke. Good first half, but Wingate brings a big work rate to this team. I'm excited to see her out in the field today.
Hendricks upfield for Muya, but headed away by Madison Loudman. Just over the end line. And it'll be a goal kick for Kate Moran.
And both coaches making use of their bench in the first half. Again, early in the season, they're just trying to get different looks at new players, see who fits in where, see what's going to make the team really click. And
one of the players that we were watching on the Loyola side was Jenna Cesny. She's not starting today after playing the majority of Loyola's season opener. Expect to see her maybe coming in later in this first half, if not the second. And as I say that, she has actually just entered the game. Cesny has, so the senior forward coming in.
Yeah, and she's a big-time target player for this Loyola Rambler team. First team all MVC last year, and in our first game she had 1 goal and 2 assists. She's definitely a game changer out there.
She had 14 goals a season ago. That was actually the 3rd best single season for scoring in Loyola history. As Westendorf with a nice takeaway. And she'll play it back out to Hendricks. 16.5 minutes to play from Alumni Stadium. Interesting note on Cesny, needs only 2 points to take over 3rd place on the all-time Loyola scoring points list. She just made her way into 4th, and an opportunity to continue climbing in the ranks, the Loyola history books. Here's Martinez on the right side, looking for a cross in.
Couldn't quite get it off, just went over the end line.
So we played almost 30 minutes here from Alumni Stadium. Katie, your impressions of both sides, really, as we've seen some exciting offense. The Irish leading in the shots category, but still nobody able to put one in the back of the net.
Irish have definitely had the advantage in terms of opportunities, but no real good looks on goal. Jen Westendorf has had a pair of shots that have gone just wide. But other than that, a little bit flat from the Irish right now.
Kate Moran yet to record a save. Irish have had 6 shots, but no shots on goal. Meanwhile, Loyola's only had the 1 shot, but it was on target. Up ahead to Madison Kimball on the left side. That first touch a bit too strong, and it goes over the end line.
Loyola definitely defensive focus in this first half. Not many numbers up top, so they're not able to generate a real good attack right now.
So Tyrion plays it up ahead to Hurd, who gives it right back. And Tyrion's made the only save of the game so far. There's a good shot opportunity from Tatterin that Tyrion was forced to push wide. Here's Muya up ahead, but out of the reach.
Tried to force that pass there. It wasn't really a good look. Straight ball onto Wingate's run. Again, I think Coach Norman's going to make some changes here going into the second half to try and get more going on up top, more movement, more dynamic runs.
So Cesny into the game for Kat Stevens, as Loyola trying to break through in this first half. 4 goals in the season opener against UMass Lowell. Notre Dame had 3 of their own in their opener against Central Michigan.
Yeah, as we know from last season, Juan Jose, Loyola is a very productive team offensively. 61 goals for the season, which put them at number 2 behind Stanford. And so let's see if they can get a couple goals on the board here today.
Muya in the box. Muya tackled away nicely by Madison Loudman.
Excellent tackle from Loudman there, had it read all the way.
Sienna Cruz gets it out of danger, plays it wide to Jenna Ross. To Wingate. Wingate taken down.
It was a bit the other way around. I said Wingate was doing the taking down there.
There was some mutual contact there.
There was, yeah. She just tried to touch it by Lamboris, but couldn't quite get by her. Went for the Meg, but Lamboris does a good job of using her body to block Wingate's path to the ball.
Yeah, Wingate tried to sell that one a little bit.
For sure.
But a nice job by Lamboris, the senior, really able to take charge on that ball. Kimball had it taken away briefly. Now Martinez comes back the other way. Martinez up ahead to Westendorf. Finds Wingate with some space on the right side. Can she get there? cannot. That one goes over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for Moran.
Good ball movement from the Irish. Wingate couldn't quite get a handle on that ball to set it up where she wanted to go.
And the Irish did a really nice job there, moving it inside to outside, then back in.
Yeah, a bit of a bouncy ball there. Wingate didn't get the touch she wanted, and it heads out of bounds.
But so far, we're seeing good movement from Notre Dame. Just haven't really been able to have that one good look. Still haven't had a shot on goal so far this half.
Yeah, that's right, Juan Jose. That last pass is lacking right now. They're almost trying to overplay too much in the attacking half.
Yeah, they really look good on those that first ball, but really it's capitalizing on those and finishing it off that has had the Irish a little bit perplexed in this first half.
I don't have the stat in front of me right now, but I'd be interested to see how many crosses they've got into the box. Thursday they had so much success putting crosses into the box, but just lacked that extra desperation needed to put the ball in the back of the goal. So again, Irish need to exploit that space on the outsides and try to whip balls into the box.
Deflected out by the Irish, and it'll be a corner for Loyola, their first of the afternoon. It was Herm that had the last touch for the Irish.
Expect Loyola to be looking for number 14, Cesny, on this one. She's going to be their big target on corners.
Cesny stands at 5'9". Currently standing right at the far post.
And 4 players in the goal mouth are looking to bend that ball with Lamboris' left-footed cross right here.
The cross in is a low one. Still not out of the box. Finally, the Irish clear it away. Amelia was looking to go long for Wingate, but Loyola slowed her up just enough to make her rethink, and the Irish slow it down.
And when I see 3 subs coming in for the close of the half, the Irish is trying to get some fresh legs out there, see if he can generate some opportunities offensively.
10 minutes to play in this first half. Irish have had 6 shots, but haven't been able to put one on target just yet. Loyola's had only 1 shot, but it was on goal. That was from Alexa Tatarin.
The Irish definitely have had the majority of the possession, but most of the play has been in the middle third. Not much movement going on up top. Haven't been able to generate really clear-cut chances.
So you mentioned the adjustments that this coaching staff will try to make at halftime. What do you think are those adjustments that the Irish will try to do to get some of those players moving forward and get some of those opportunities in the second half?
To be honest, Juan Jose, the midfield's been a little lacking right now. They're not very dynamic in their movement. I think Nate Norman might shake things up in terms of lineup and encourage players to find little seams to try and connect the ball from the back line to the front line, and that'll definitely open up more of the forward play and get players in behind the back line.
Eva Herm trying to do just that as she was trying to get behind this Loyola back line. We saw her have a lot of success against Central Michigan, using that speed just to get past the Central Michigan defenders.
And what's so dangerous about Herm on the left side is that she can then cut onto her right foot and attack from the inside as well. So she's a dual threat on that left side, crossing and shooting.
Which is great to see because you have Westendorf with the left foot, then you have Herm that can really strike with either foot, but especially with the right, as you just mentioned. So a lot of different factors that can contribute for the Irish. So we see a couple more substitutes come on. One of them, Kelly Moss, one of the forwards that you mentioned, a freshman, getting some experience now, getting to play the last few minutes of this first half.
She's gotten some good minutes in their opening matches this season and is looking to make a difference today on the field.
So the 3 subs, Jenna Weinbrenner, Kelly Moss, Bailey Cartwright all coming in, Herm Fisher and Westendorf taking a seat for the final 8.5 minutes of this first period. Westendorf had 2 shots. Fisher, Van Dyke, Flores, and Herm with 1 apiece. So a hot and sunny afternoon from South Bend, Indiana. A great crowd on hand at Alumni Stadium. Irish trying to get their first goal of this one to break through against the Ramblers, while Loyola looking to play spoiler. Up ahead to Cartwright. Cartwright maintaining possession in the corner. This one squibs around and finally ends up with possession for the Ramblers.
Like you were saying, Juan Jose, Loyola trying to get one on the counterattack, and they're no stranger to upset, as we know. Their men's basketball team making a deep run into the NCAA tournament. They made the semifinal, correct? Yeah, but I don't think Sister Jean made the trip to Chicago for this one, unfortunately. Her lucky charm stayed back at Loyola.
Yeah, Sister Jean, as we were informed before the game, turns 99 in 2 days, so a happy early birthday to Sister Jean.
Excellent look for the Irish there. I think that was a pass from Kelly Moss. Try and find Karen Muya streaking behind that back line, but it gets disrupted by the Loyola back line.
Cartwright now in the middle of the field. Try to get it over to her left foot. Moss with a shot attempt from distance, but blocked away. Sienna Cruz coming back on the counter. Just ran out of real estate along that Irish sideline. 6 minutes and change to go in this first half. The Irish with the clear advantage statistically, 6 shots to Loyola's 1.
But even then, Juan Jose, for the majority of the possession that they've been having, that's not enough shots, and certainly not enough on goal.
Martinez on the right side, into the middle. Deflected away. And finally smothered by Kate Moran.
I feel like I'm beating a dead horse on that one, but yet another cross from Martinez that no white player is able to connect with. They need to have more aggressive runs into the box to try and get on the end of these excellent crosses that are being put in.
Yeah, and great to see Martinez, as a freshman, able to put in such great crosses and give her teammates so many great opportunities.
As you were saying before, Martinez has experience on the U.S. Youth National Team. She's an awesome player, great club career, and she's going to make a great player for the next 4 years for the Irish.
You saw Kelly Moss with the header, but right in front of Kate Moran, so no trouble for the junior keeper out of Denver. Cross intended for Tatterin. Tatterin controls along the far sideline. Working to play it into the box, but Hendricks right there to pick it up for Notre Dame. Looking for Muya. Deflected away, last touch by Karen Muya. Grad student from London, England. International player on this Notre Dame team.
And Karen brings something special to the field. Has this uncanny knack for getting out of difficult situations. She doesn't even throw that many moves. She just ends up with the ball on the other side.
And great to see, especially with somebody that's so experienced on a team that's quite young with so many freshman players making an impact. Great to have Muya's experience and leadership leading what's been a very young Irish roster, especially up on the attacking side. We've talked about how experienced they are on the back, but not so much up front.
Definitely, Juan Jose. This is a very young but talented team. And we've got senior veterans, Rachel Hurd, Shannon, Karen Muya, Sabrina Flores, that are definitely bringing good leadership to the team to lead these youngsters.
So a brief stoppage on the field as we get a couple more substitutions. Jade Gosar enters for the Irish in place of Brianna Martinez with just 3.5 minutes to play.
Yeah, well done again by Brianna Martinez. Way to get it up that line. Made some good defensive stops as well. Just getting a little breather before halftime.
So Gosar comes in for Martinez. Sarah Lawrence comes in for Sienna Cruz on the Loyola side. Three minutes to play between Notre Dame and Loyola. 7 shots for the Irish, 1 for Loyola.
Relatively quiet from the very productive offense from Loyola this game. They haven't seen much of the ball. They haven't gotten anything going offensively so far.
Here's Gosar getting involved early. Gosar on the right, trying to make a move past Lamboris.
Good defensive play by Lamboris there to use her body to shield Jade Gosar out to the end line, just see the ball out.
And we've seen that a couple of times from Lamboris going against a couple of freshman midfielders and attackers from Notre Dame. showing that veteran leadership, that presence to be able to not panic and just simply play the ball out.
Yeah, and Lamboris brings a lot of experience. She played all 20 games last year. She's aggressive, and she uses her body very well, again, to shield forwards from attacking.
Played all the way back to Moran. Moran hasn't really been tested. Neither goalkeeper really has. Each has had to make one save today.
But you'll remember, Juan Jose, that one shot from Jen Westendorf did go off the post. So Moran definitely has that to thank for making a save today, too.
And then Westendorf also had the one that went right over the crossbar. So Westendorf has just missed on a couple of occasions. Looking to try to find that first goal to break through. Whether it comes now in the waning stages of the first half or in the second after the halftime break. Just 60 seconds to go in this first half. Still scoreless from Alumni Stadium. Muya trying to get at the end of that pass, but a lot of contact, and she's taken down. Martella Moth plays back to Hendricks. Up ahead to Flores. Can the Irish get one in these last 40 seconds?
Offsides on that one. It's too bad. Good build-up play, but again, just a little lack of composure to make sure she was onside for that one.
So under 30 seconds to play. Loyola likely content to just bleed the rest of this clock down. That was the first offsides call on either team. And the Irish respond here. Wingate deflected over the end line.
Excellent ball in there from the outside to find Wingate. See if they can get one off. Too bad. Half end scoreless.
The Irish unable to set up for that corner as the clock ticks down. We're scoreless at Alumni Stadium heading into the halftime break. Notre Dame nothing, Loyola nothing. Back in a few moments on the ACC Network Extra.
Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. Meet again. May God hold you in the palm of his hand.
We are the University of Notre Dame.
This college will be one of the most powerful means for doing good in this country.
Notre Dame is a place where differences of culture and religion and conviction can coexist with friendship and civility and even love.
We've been entrusted with Notre Dame to pass it on to the next generation in a way that will influence the world for another 175 years.
An Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
We are the University of Notre Dame.
This college will be one of the most powerful means for doing good in this country.
Notre Dame is a place where differences of culture and religion and conviction can coexist with friendship and civility and even love.
We've been entrusted with Notre Dame to pass it on to the next generation in a way that will influence the world for another 175 years.
An Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
We are the University of Notre Dame.
This college will be one of the most powerful means for doing good in this country.
Notre Dame is a place where differences of culture and religion and conviction can coexist with friendship and civility and even love.
We've been entrusted with pass it on to the next generation in a way that will influence the world for another 175 years.
Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
We are the University of Notre Dame.
This college will be one of the most powerful means for doing good in this country.
Notre Dame is a place where differences of culture and religion and conviction can coexist with friendship and civility and even love.
We've been entrusted with Notre Dame to pass it on to the next generation in a way that will influence the world for another 175 years.
Back at halftime at Alumni Stadium, scoreless between Loyola Chicago and the 14th-ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish. It was an exciting first half, even though no goals were put on the scoreboard. As we take a look at some of the highlights from this first half, the Irish really had a lot of chances, creating 7 shots during that first half, but they're unable to get anything in the back of the net, Katie.
Yeah, Juan Jose. Again, the most exciting chances came from junior forward Jen Westendorf. She had a couple shots off that left foot. Again, you saw the post making a save. Good diving save from Interior to bat away that cross. But again, not much offensive output from the Irish so far. 7 shots, but no goals.
This was the best look the Irish had all afternoon. That left foot from Westendorf just sailing ever so close above the crossbar. The Irish have had those chances really throughout the afternoon, throughout the first half, but unable to put anything in the back of the net. You see another great cross from Brianna Martinez, the freshman, but Notre Dame unable to convert and really put any pressure on Kate Moran, the Loyola goalkeeper. And take a look at the stats. Really, the Irish creating a lot of those opportunities, but not able to do anything with them. Even on corners, Loyola, the slightly more physical team, committing 5 fouls to Notre Dame's 3. But should be an exciting first half as we look to see which team can really break through first on the scoreboard. And this is a Notre Dame team that had a lot of success in 2017. The tournament for Notre Dame ended a little bit earlier than they would have liked, ending in the round of 16. But to take a look at really the 2017 season as a whole, we send it down to the third member of our crew, Holden Pirelli, down on the field. Holden?
Thanks so much, Juan Jose. You're right, a bit of a mixed bag for Notre Dame in the regular season in ACC conference play. Only 10 wins. Then they head into the conference tournament, lose in the quarterfinals, but they turned it on. They found their magic when the NCAA tournament hit, making it all the way to the Sweet 16. Since then, a bit of a coaching staff reshuffling. Nate Norman taking over the program, Coach Romanolo leaving, and now you have Jennifer Westendorf, the star junior in her 3rd year. Can she take it up a notch? She was 2nd on the team in goals last season. Can she be the goal-scoring leader for Notre Dame this season? Juan Jose?
And Westendorf's had a lot of those opportunities so far the last couple of games. She missed those the season opener with a leg injury, but coming back today, we've really seen her have a couple of great looks, missing the crossbar just by a hair, but really creating the offense for this Irish team, and we'll see if she can continue to capitalize on those opportunities, maybe put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, and Westendorf again with that deadly left foot. Give her a little bit of space, and she'll put one in the back of the net. But good looks from Eva Herm as well. She's been blazing down those sidelines. See if she can put one in the back of the net. Again, Westendorf, again, 10 goals on last season. She's a great leader for this team, especially since they're so young this year. They're going to look to Jen as the center forward. She's a big-time, big athletic target up top. And she also plays a little bit in the midfield, but primarily up top. And hopefully they can find her feet. She plays best when she's at her feet. And hopefully she can convert this half.
There's head coach Nate Norman in just his first season as the Notre Dame head coach. 2nd game after winning his opener against Central Michigan. Previously, 4 seasons as a head coach at Western Michigan, 1 season at Liberty. He was a 21st overall pick back in 2007, but also played here for 4 years at Notre Dame. He was actually a teammate of new men's soccer head coach Chad Riley back in 2003. So he brings that combination of Notre Dame experience and head coaching experience, something that athletics director Jack Swarbrick, when he introduced Nate Norman as head coach, really said it speaks a lot to the strength of this Notre Dame program that after a national coaching search, the best man for the job was sitting right here in our own program.
That's right, Juan Jose. And he is familiar with this team. He was assistant coach under Romanolo last year, but he primarily worked with the forwards. And he has them playing a very offensive-minded 4-3-3 this year with both outside backs blazing forward. And he's done great with the girls off the field as well. I know they took a trip to the Grotto this year. They're really working on revitalizing that team culture, especially under the coaching change.
And I know you mentioned earlier during the first half, you saw a lot of the bench, actually the entire bench, standing up on the sidelines, really getting energized and into this game. And that's something that you don't see from many other programs, but having that united culture here at Notre Dame, that team-first mentality, really great to see, especially under a first-year head coach like Nate Norman.
Exactly, and all the starters know any one of those players could take their spot at any point. It really pushes them to perform at their best all the time.
So just moments away from the start of the second half as Notre Dame has broken their huddle, waiting for Loyola to do the same. The Ramblers will start off with possession in the second half.
And like we said, Juan Jose, not much offensively going on for either team. Yes, Irish had the shot advantage with 7 shots, but I don't think they had any on goal. So no good looks for either team, and no keeper really has been tested. So for the Irish, I think they are going to change things up in midfield. I see Cam Dykes starting right now, and they're going to try and generate more out of their possession. Yes, they had the ball, but they weren't really moving it with a purpose. They weren't finding runs in behind the back line. They weren't making penetrating runs, dribbling, attacking players. So we'll see if they can get more shots at Moran and test her out.
And the same thing with Loyola, really. They haven't had a whole lot of the possession. They've only actually taken 1 shot, but it was on target. It was a nice look that Maddie and Tyrion had to push away to the side.
And again, Sienna Cruz, who scored 2 goals in their home opener, has been relatively quiet this evening.
So Loyola will start with possession. Westendorf already giving chase. Missed the last 2 games. The final exhibition as well as the regular season opener did Jen Westendorf, but back in there. She played 36 minutes in the first half, sat down for the last 8 and change.
And like we said, Juan Jose, Irish already coming out slightly different in their formation. Sammy Fisher is playing in the midfield again, but Cam Dyke moved into the starting lineup. And Eva Herm is playing outside back. Again, she's primarily an attacking player. That just goes to show you how offensive-minded Nate Norman has them playing in this 4-3-3. He's putting one of his best outside forwards as outside back, but you see she's already generating so much attack flying up that line.
And she's so comfortable with moving forward and getting into the attack, so when Coach Norman puts somebody like Eva Herm as an outside back, it's almost like second nature for Herm to come up forward and join the attack and really create some of those offensive opportunities.
Exactly right, but she still has the added responsibility as outside back to come back defensively and make defensive plays.
Yeah, we saw in the first half the Irish employed really only 2 true defenders in that back line with Shannon Hendricks and Rachel Hurd, with those outside backs coming up into the midfield and into the attacking third, trying to create those opportunities.
Yeah, offensively it almost looks like a 2-5-3. It's huge numbers forward.
Trying to put as much pressure as possible on goalkeeper Kate Moran as Cruz is shaken up. May have taken a shot to the head, we'll see. Looks like the trainers are coming out to check on Sienna Cruz, the junior midfielder out of Wisconsin. Had 2 goals on 3 shots in Loyola's season opener against UMass Lowell. Take another look.
Yeah, just ricocheted off Cam Dyke's head right into her Sienna Cruz's right side there. She wasn't expecting a bit of a ricochet. She's going off the field, get checked out, make sure she's okay.
So Cruz exits the field for the time being after that ball ricocheted off her head.
Again, quick examination per protocol. Been super strict this year in terms of concussion, all the recent studies that are coming out. Looks like she's going to rejoin us though.
So ball played back to Maddie and Tyrion. And Cruz will rejoin the action. Head referee Josh Kelly stopping play for a moment while Cruz was getting checked out. And she now returns to the field, and we're back to live action. Muya along the left flank. Karen Muya looking ahead, trying to find Westendorf. Played out by Loyola over to Eva Herm. Herm crosses it into the middle, and Moran ranges upfield a few feet to make the play.
Kind of a searching ball from Herm. Moran had that read all the save, made the easy save.
Yeah, the ball itself wasn't very difficult. It was just the Irish had a little bit of traffic in there, try to create some confusion, especially with Moran not having a ton of experience back there.
Flag stays down, not able to connect.
Cesny has it deflected away. Not a bad idea for Alexa Tatarin to try to find that foot of Jenna Cesny, the senior forward.
Certainly not. Cesny is very productive on the front line for the Ramblers. She made first team all MVC last year with 14 goals. The first game had 1 goal and a very unselfish play from her as well. She had 2 assists.
The long throw in from Ross, but Loyola unable to do anything with it. They get it back, but a long shot goes wide.
Yeah, hopeful chance. Never really saw the goal.
Loyola gets another shot on the board, but not a whole lot of danger for Maddie and Tyrion.
Yeah, a bit of sloppy play from the Irish there, trying to overplay in the back, just get it forward, and Brooke Van Dyke, she just mishandles it and able to pick that one up and try and convert a shot.
Hendricks looking for Herm along the left side. Can she catch up to it? Does keep it in, but right onto the foot of Jenna Ross. In fact, the official rules that it did in fact go over the line, so Moran will send it downfield for a goal kick. Irish with 7 shots so far today, Loyola with just 2. Each side with 1 apiece on target.
You know, like we were saying, Juan Jose, both keepers have not been tested yet. Both teams looking to get more shots on goal, try and see what these keepers are made of.
Van Dyke over to Martinez, freshman to freshman connection.
Good tackle from Lamborst to keep it out of play. Irish still in possession though. Let's see what Martinez can do with it.
Martinez along the end line. Plays it back to Westendorf. Westendorf on the ground. But just goes wide of the near post.
Yeah, she didn't get her full foot on that one. I think she may have hit the ground a bit and it just skitters off to the side.
So still scoreless through 50 minutes of play between the 14th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Loyola Ramblers. Alongside Katie Euler, I'm Juan Jose Rodriguez. Glad you're joining us on this Sunday afternoon. Irish looking to pick up right where they left off last season. Had a lot of success on Sunday afternoons, not only in the win column, but also were able to put up an impressive amount of goals on Sundays. Very offensive minded a season ago, and now trying to pick up their first win on a Sunday here in 2018. Especially with such a tough ACC schedule, Katie, you want to try to use these non-conference games to get in rhythm for what will be a very difficult and daunting ACC schedule with, as we mentioned, so many opponents in the conference ranked in the top 20.
That's exactly right, Juan Jose. Again, opponents like UNC, Duke, UVA, and also non-conference-wise, Notre Dame's going to be playing Stanford in a couple weeks coming up, and Santa Clara with their trip out to California. In those games, they're not going to get many good looks on goal. They need to make sure they capitalize on those few chances. And the best get reps during games like this to make sure they're able to convert when the opportunity really matters.
And Loyola a season ago was second in the country with 61 goals in 2017. They trailed number 1 by 30, and that number 1 was Stanford, who went on to win the national championship. So the Irish are going to have a bit of a test when they go to Stanford and play the Cardinal.
Stanford is so deadly in attack. Again, defending national champions, and they have a very young team, but they have this uncanny ability to just generate so many great opportunities on offense. It's going to be a great test for the Irish heading into California in the next couple weeks.
And this Loyola program has played Notre Dame 6 times, and they've been outscored by the Irish 42-0. So not only has Loyola never won against the Irish, they've never scored in 6 contests against the Irish.
Yeah, and that's right. And certainly Tyrion's trying to keep that goose egg for the Irish against Loyola.
So Loyola definitely having their best defensive game against the Irish so far. As the Irish, in those 6 contests, averaging 7 goals per game against the Ramblers.
Yeah, but they've been kept pretty quiet today for sure.
The corner kick from the far side. Dyke was trying to get on the end of it, sliding down, but unable to come up with it. Played all the way back out to midfield.
Again, Juan Jose, what I talked about, not many runs in the box, even on corner kicks. This lack of offensive attacking mentality from the Irish right now. Someone like Jen Westendorf or Eva Herm really need to take hold of this game and shake it up and set the tone for the rest of their teammates.
And you saw Westendorf try to put one on her left foot, but ended up right in the arms of Kate Moran once again.
Again, a hopeful chance from the outside of the box.
Here's Muya. Tried to cross in front of Lamboris. Deflected on over to Martinez on this left side. She's got Van Dyke ahead of her as well as Muya. Just touched out of the reach of Sammy Fisher. Cruz takes it on the left side. Loyola trying to build the counter.
She's got Cesny with her, see if she can find her feet.
Played over to Cesny just inside the box. Hendricks slides, can't clear it just yet. And now it'll go back the way of the Irish after Loyola's offside.
Hendricks did well there to use her body to keep Cesny from making any good opportunity out of that opportunity, and draws the foul.
And great to see from Hendricks, who's sliding over that center back spot after playing outside for the majority of her Irish career.
No, she's done very well so far in the center back, and she did really well on Thursday against Central Michigan. They have forward Lexi Palafas, who's a Herman Trophy hopeful last season. She didn't have a sniff of the goal on Thursday.
So Hendricks and Hurd, two of those seniors that are really anchoring the Irish defensive back line. You have three seniors in Hurd, Hendricks, and Natalie Ward that go along with the freshman Brianna Martinez, and as well freshman Maddie Interian in goal. So good to have that experience on that back line to protect and really support the likes of those freshmen Martinez and Interian.
Certainly, it's a very young team, but good seasoned veterans out there too. Sabrina Flores, graduate student, Karen Muya, graduate student, bring some leadership to this very young team.
There is Flores along the right side. A nice pass over to Herm with the back heel. Herm makes a couple of defenders miss. It'll be an Irish corner.
Try and get one off quick there, and they do.
Herm sends one in. Westendorf deflected away. Martinez saved. Loyola finally able to clear it out, but not before the Irish get two very good looks on goal. Van Dyke was looking to get on the end of it before Moran finally picks it up and settles it down.
And good look from the Irish. It all started from that quick corner, but not able to convert. Again, all these shots are being blocked. As coach used to tell us, a solid does not go through a solid. Irish need to find a way to find inches of space to bend it around their defender.
And that cross from Herm looked good as it was able to find the foot of Westendorf, but Westendorf not able to get it through the defense. Looking once again for the junior Jen Westendorf, but out of reach.
Good look from Sabrina. Try and slip Jen in behind that back line. It's just a little bit heavy on the pass, and it goes out of bounds.
Freya Glenn coming into the game for Loyola in place of Madison Kimball. So the sophomore from London, Freya Glenn, enters for the senior Kimball. Still scoreless from Alumni Stadium, almost at the 30-minute mark of time remaining. Over to Westendorf in the middle. Deflected. Might have caught Moran a bit out of place with that deflection.
It certainly did. Again, Jen Westendorf taking that shot about 25 yards out. He's trying to create something for the Irish. Maybe gets a shot on frame and it gets batted down by Moran. Someone will be there to block it.
Another corner for Notre Dame. This will be their fourth of the afternoon. Once again, no real threat from the Irish. Not a whole lot of white jerseys inside the box.
There's no one running into the middle there. Just met two maroon players who easily cleared it out.
Hendricks bringing it forward to Van Dyke. A couple of local players in Shannon Hendricks out of Marion High School. Van Dyke out of Penn High School in South Bend, Mishawaka. Muya over to Cameron Dyke. Plays it back to Flores. Flores up ahead to Van Dyke.
It's hard to appreciate from this angle, but all 11 players all 10 players within about 30 yards of the goal for Loyola. They're really trying to pack the box, trying to frustrate any Irish penetrations into the attacking half.
And it seems like they really learned from Central Michigan as the Irish are able to get into the box. Here's Flores with the shot that just curls over the crossbar.
Good look from Flores to keep her composure and try and put that ball in frame, but it just gets away from her.
Like I was saying, it seems like Loyola's really utilized that game from Central Michigan when they played Notre Dame, really trying to pack the box, not let any of those Irish attacking threats like Flores, like Herm, like Westendorf put anything in the back of the net.
Yeah, and unlike Central Michigan, though, Loyola's been able to weather the storm. They've kept up their legs and also kept up the pressure and make sure they close out the Irish players as soon as they try and turn and get a shot on goal.
Loyola's brought in 5 substitutes, trying to keep those legs fresh, especially against the threats that Notre Dame brings to the table. Martinez giving chase against Jenna Ross. So a throw-in coming up for Martinez. She's looking for Westendorf along that left sideline. Gets away from Ross. Ball played ahead to Cruz. Taken away by Sammy Fisher. Fisher plays it back to Hurd. And again, the Irish going with those 2 defenders on the back with Hurd and Hendricks, so really trying to force the issue and bring all the action up front.
Exactly right, and they're the only 2 back on defense. They're sending those outside backs forward.
Just a couple of moments ago, when the Irish had that last real threat offensively, we noticed there might have been a handball in the box. Let's take another look. Here you see Eva Herm just on the edge of the box. That was number 10, Freya Glenn.
You know, that was more ball to hand, and she didn't really control it. She didn't bat it down into the box, so I think the referee did make the correct call on that one.
An excellent job by our production staff. Thank you, Katie, for that analysis. Able to get that great look inside the box. So we're back live with Martinez along the left side. Switches the field, plays it over to Herm. Herm with a shake and bake gets around the defender. Tried to play it up and find an Irish player ahead of her, but no white jerseys to connect. Coming off the bench now for Notre Dame, Olivia Wingate. Coming on for the grad student, Karen Muya.
Yeah, not much from Karen Muya today. You see Nate's going to go over there and talk to her a bit, but Wingate's a great replacement. She's has a great work rate, generated some great opportunities on Thursday, so we'll see if she can make the difference for the Irish and really take control of this offense.
There's Westendorf in the middle. Up ahead to Wingate. That one just a bit too far out in front. But it seems like the Irish are really starting to put things together here in the second half, creating some chances. Now up to 6 shots already in the second half, not even midway through this period.
Definitely Juan Jose. And again, a lot of that's coming from Sabrina Flores. She's playing great slip passes in between the defenders of Loyola and just couldn't quite find Wingate on that one.
And if you've been a fan of this program for a while, you've known that there's been a couple of Flores sisters on this team, and for the first time, it's just Sabrina Flores. Now as Monica is back with the Mexico national team.
Yeah, Monica's actually in Spain right now. She's playing professionally for the Valencia club over there. And she's having a great time. They're still in preseason, starting their season soon. I know it's hard for the Flores twins to be apart, but Sabrina's doing a great job here and really taking over the team.
Yeah, and in that theme of twin sisters, we mentioned Loyola is one of only 3 teams in the nation to have 2 sets of twin sisters. Yeah. However, the Irish are one of those with the Flores twins and the Clavender twins of Caitlin and Taylor Clavender.
Yes, and the Flores twins were identical. Clavender were fraternal. Again, both Clavenders graduated last year.
Westendorf trying to make a move, but deflected away back to Sammy Fisher. Hurd up ahead to the right side with Herm. Herm gives chase. She's able to control it just in the corner. Up to the edge of the box with Flores. Flores makes a move to her left foot. Walled away by a couple of Loyola defenders.
Again, Juan Jose, they have 9 players in the box. I can't stress, they are parking the bus right now. Loyola is just making every effort to make sure the Irish cannot find the back of the net. It looks like they're going to be satisfied just getting a 0-0 tie today.
And the Irish are even bringing Shannon Hendricks up a little bit to try to create even more chances. That left Rachel Hurd as the sole Notre Dame defender. So if Loyola was able to get anything going on the counter, it would have been up to Rachel Hurd to really put a stop to it. As there you see, for Loyola, head coach Barry Bimby, his 8th season at the helm of the Ramblers. 1994 graduate of St. Francis in Pennsylvania. He was actually inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame at St. Francis back in 2011. Back come the Irish. Wingate once again.
A good look from Wingate, but she couldn't quite shake Loudman there to try to throw a move on her, but Loudman did very well to keep her feet and then poke the ball away.
Westendorf plays the deflection, gives to Fisher, now over to Flores. Flores along the right side enters the box. She has help in Fisher in the center. Tried to cross it over, but unable to find a white jersey.
And I think the ball's been in this attacking half almost the entirety of this half, but Irish, they need to have a quicker pace in the attacking half to try and shift the Loyola defense and try and catch them on when they're not in full force, as we were saying. Again, 9 players mostly in the box.
The Irish making a substitution to maybe give themselves a bit of a spark here offensively. Kelly Moss re-enters the game. She played the final 9 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, expect to see Van Dyke out on the field. For college rules, players can go out in the second half and come back in.
Savannah Cruz also enters for Loyola in place of Alexa Tatarin. Corner played over to Hendricks. Hendricks back to Flores, was shaken up briefly, but back on her feet. Flores with the right foot, crosses in. Still rattling around in the box. Kate Moran smothers it. And the Irish once again enter the box and leave without a goal.
Yeah, and Jen Westendorf did well to get her left foot on the box, but so much traffic there. You know, she plays it down, but no one's able to get on that deflection. And Moran's there to wrap it up.
Another player shaken down. This time it's Eva Herm. A yellow card being issued. We'll await the word on the player to whom it was issued. Yellow card being issued to Savannah Cruz. Savannah Cruz, the twin sister of Sienna.
And Nate's very frustrated on that play. We'll take another look at it shortly.
So a brief stoppage as Herm back on her feet.
See, Herm went up for the header, and it's hard to see, but it looks like Cruz collided her head with Herm's head there, and Herm goes down, clearly in pain.
Yeah, perhaps a little too aggressive on the challenge was Cruz. Take one more look at it.
Again, it's hard to tell from this angle, but Herm headed the ball, and it looks like Cruz headed Herm, so that's not fun, I can tell you that, but hopefully she'll be able to get back out in the field.
For the time being, at least, she's coming off the field. Jenna Weinbrenner entering. Weinbrenner came on as a sub in the first half, also played 9 minutes. She came on with Cartwright and Kelly Moss in that wave of substitutions right before the end of the first half.
And I can tell you, Juan Jose, with any collision to the head, any sort of contact, all college athletic training staffs are being super careful because you really just don't want to mess with your brain on these injuries like this.
So ball played over the sideline, and possession will be awarded to Loyola. Back come the Irish quickly, with Westendorf trying to get it over to her left foot.
Patel does a great job there to just poke it out at the last minute, make sure Westendorf doesn't get it onto her left foot for a shot.
We've seen how dangerous she can be with that left foot. She's had a shot rattle off the post, also a shot that soared just over the crossbar.
Bit of miscommunication there between the freshmen. Moss wanted it at her feet, I think, and Martinez thought she wanted it over her head.
So the midway point of this second half, still no score between the Irish and the Ramblers. Shot totals are starting to get a little bit impressive. 13 for the Fighting Irish, only 2 for Loyola. The Irish with the clear advantage in corners, 5 to Loyola's 1. Here's Fisher with the right foot, but blocked away once again. Loyola doing a really good job of getting in these shooting lanes, not allowing Notre Dame to get anything going, get any clear looks at goal, and really keeping Kate Moran protected very well by this back line. Flores back on the right side. Left foot, but wide once again.
Not a bad look. Not a bad look from the sophomore there, coming from the right side, trying to take it on her left foot. But again, a lot of these shots are 20, 25 yards out. No real threat to Moran. You know, Irish haven't generated any very clear-cut chances, and Moran's kept her clean sheet.
And Moran has only made 2 saves today, but no real threats in quite a while by this Notre Dame attack. Bella Lestina entering for Savannah Cruz. Lestina in for Cruz in the 69th minute. Martinez plays it off her chest, gets by a couple of defenders, and deflected away by Madison Loudman. It'll be a corner for the Irish, their 6th of the afternoon. Irish official now with 14 shots. They play this corner in short once again. Here's Wingate back over to Flores. Flores deflected away by Moran.
Excellent shot from Flores, and that started with that short corner. Kind of caught the defense on their heels. But she shot it right at Moran, and Moran's able to push it over the bar.
Yeah, and Flores, you see a lot of open space. Another sub will come in for Notre Dame. It'll be Martell Lamoth re-entering the game for Cameron Dyke. Corner in once again. Entering! And sending it just wide was Wingate.
I think that's the theme for today, Juan Jose, unfortunately. Another good look for the Irish. Again, off another corner, but unable to convert.
Yeah, Notre Dame actually had an opportunity there with that second ball deflecting off the hands of Kate Moran. It ended up right at the foot of Olivia Wingate.
You know, in games like these, that's what it's going to take. It's not going to be some beautiful goal unless, you know, Jen maybe will find one outside from the box, but it's going to be a scrappy goal, falls down in the box, and someone just is there with a head, a knee, an elbow, something to put it in.
And that's, I mean, scrappy has really been the theme for this game today. The Irish having to work for everything, as Kelly Moss unable to control the header back toward the goal. Moss, a freshman from Rancocas Valley in Lumberton, New Jersey.
Another great cross put in, this time by Olivia Wingate. Freshman to freshman connection, but just goes wide.
The Irish are really putting a lot of pressure up, as we've seen, continue to put 9 or 10 players up on the attacking side of the field and forcing Loyola into some tough passes. They've been able to create some turnovers. Don't have the possession stats in front of me, but yeah, you're right, Katie. We've really seen the Irish on the attacking half of the field for the majority of the game. Here's an open look and a score by Loyola, a turnover by the Irish. And Loyola gets their first goal of the game. It's Lastina breaking through, and the Ramblers up 1-0.
You know, that's what the Ramblers were banking on coming in. They seemed content with that 0-0 tie, but a little bit of sloppy play from the back line, miscommunication between Rachel Hurd and Maddie and Tyrion, and Ramblers put it in the back of the goal.
So Bella Lastina taking advantage of a misplay on this back line. Hurd played it up to Tyrion, and the first touch by Tyrion way too heavy, and it ends up right at the foot of Bella Lastina.
Lastina did a great job putting heavy pressure there on Tyrion, and ended up putting it right where she wanted in the corner.
So for Bella Lastina, her first goal of the season comes in the 72nd minute. Now the Irish, instead of maybe trying to play for that one goal to get the 1-0 win, now they're trying to play for a goal just to get a tie, maybe send this into overtime. And how about this, the first goal that Loyola has ever scored against Notre Dame, and could it come in the first win by Loyola? We'll have to wait and see how these final 17.5 play out. Deflected once again, but cleared away by Notre Dame, and Tyrion wasn't able to get a handle on it. But almost catastrophe for the Irish back line once again.
Again, Loyola's feeling the momentum swing their way. They're playing like they're on fire after that upset goal there. Let's see if the Irish, yes, they need more urgency in attacking, but they need to make sure they keep playing their game, keep moving the ball, keep trying to find different angles to try and break this Loyola back line.
Martinez back with it for the Irish, trying to find the foot of Westendorf. Westendorf plays it back to the right side. Flores on the left side. To the left side with Westendorf. Sent wide of the near post.
Here we have another look at that again. A little bit of bouncy pass into Tyrion. And Lastina's right there to put the deflection into the back of the net. What a moment for her. Awesome.
It's definitely an unfortunate goal to give up for Notre Dame, but at the same time, Lastina getting her first goal of the 2018 season. The freshman from LaGrange, Illinois, Lyons Township High School, converting to put the Ramblers up 1-0. Here's Westendorf once again to Van Dyke.
Again, great numbers in the box for Loyola. Two defenders run, I think it was Flores in, and able to clear the ball.
So history could be made here at Alumni Stadium today. Notre Dame's never lost against Loyola Chicago. They're 6-0 all time. And entering today, the Irish had outscored the Ramblers 42-0. That's 6 games, 42-0. Loyola gets their first one on the board, just 15 minutes to go. Could they pull off the upset against the 14th ranked Fighting Irish?
15 minutes. There's still a lot of soccer left to be played. But Loyola is certainly feeling the momentum swing their way. They're playing with a lot of confidence out there.
The Irish have not been lacking for opportunities, but it's been finishing those opportunities, getting that second or third touch, and really putting more pressure on Kate Moran that we really haven't seen a whole lot of this afternoon. Westendorf trying to put one into Flores. Flores, there's an open net. Flores scores! Flores ties it for the Irish. And just like that, Notre Dame gets back level with 15 minutes to go.
On that goal, great run from Sabrina through the midfield. Jen Westendorf does a great job to find her running past the back line, just able to slip it. Moran tries to go for the save, but unable to push it out of Sabrina Flores' stride.
And Flores with a tough angle as she gets it past the keeper, Moran. Take another look, almost by the end line. Didn't have a whole lot of space to work with, but able to squeeze it into the tightest of spaces. And how about that for Flores? She had an assist the other night against Central Michigan, getting the goal this afternoon. And what an important one, as Loyola seemed to have snatched all the momentum after getting that goal just a few moments ago.
And great moment for Sabrina Flores. She's been playing very hard this game, both defensively and on the offensive front. So hopefully Notre Dame's feeling momentum now, and will put more opportunities.
So Alexa Tatarin enters the game for Freya Glenn for the Ramblers. And this announced crowd of 1,318 going wild after the goal by Flores. Ball looking for Martinez. That first touch just a bit too heavy as it goes over the end line. Flores, 4 career goals entering tonight, gets her first one of the 2018 season. Another substitute coming on for the Irish. Jenna Weinbrenner off, Jade Gosar re-enters.
Coach Norman has been rotating those outside backs quite a bit. He's asking so much of them in this 4-3-3, asking them to all the way up, join the offense, and also come back to make defensive plays as well.
And you mentioned it's a 4-3-3, but it's really a hybrid. It's a transitional 4-3-3, is 2 of those 4 on the outside coming up and really joining the midfield and joining the attack, trying to put a lot of pressure on Loyola.
That's certainly right, and very attacking-minded, trying to make sure those outside backs get up, attack the flank, and try and put in balls so that the 3 Irish forwards can run onto them in the box.
Westendorf puts one ahead for Fisher. Slide tackled away, deflected by Madison Loudman.
An 8th corner of the day for the Irish. Let's see if they can convert on this one.
They've had some good opportunities. You saw Flores take a shot from distance, but had a lot of open space after taking a short corner. Looks like Flores will try to play this one into the box. Here it is, onto the head, and the Irish get back in front. Westendorf, after coming so close so many times today, puts one in the back of the net, and just like that, the Irish in front 2-1.
Great driven ball in from Sabrina, able to find Jen sitting by herself on the back post, unmarked. Jen puts it right in the corner, tucks it in, no question about it. Rand didn't have a chance. Lamboris tried to flick it out there on the post, but great goal for Jen.
And really, I think that's the first real mistake we've seen from Loyola's defense all day. They've done such a great job of marking Westendorf, marking Herm, and making sure that those players didn't get any good looks on goal.
No, that's for sure. They've been rock solid in the back. Great marking, great pressure whenever an Irish player gets the ball, but one slip up and Westendorf punishes them for it.
So 2 goals in the span of 2 minutes and 34 seconds. And all 3 goals coming in a span of just 6 minutes and 8 seconds. So after Loyola snatched the lead on a surprising goal from Bella Lastina, the Irish not only come back and draw level, but also take the lead off the header from Westendorf. Loyola back on the counter with Loudeman. A lot of open space for Madison Loudeman. Crosses into the box. Took the header off the rebound, but right to Maddie and Tyrion. So Tyrion, after the slip up that led to the Loyola goal, now potentially could be in line for her first win in this regular season. Freshman out of Pasadena getting the start today. Her first start of her collegiate career in the regular season.
And yes, a win, Juan Jose, but she's going to be watching that film a lot on that goal. That's something that's probably going to keep her up at night.
Hendricks in the middle of the field. Plays it off to her left. Martella Moth now to Fisher. Sammy Fisher with a shot today. And how about this? The Irish now with 20 shots on the day. Westendorf with 8 of them. So almost half of the shot production for the Irish has come off the foot of Jennifer Westendorf.
And she's so dangerous when she plays center back. She does a great job of using her body to turn her defender and get that quick shot off her left foot.
Here is Westendorf once again. Can the Irish look for more? The 2 goal scorers, Westendorf and Flores, trying to connect but unable to do so. Under 10 minutes now from Alumni Stadium. Irish leading 2-1. Kate O'Connor entering the game for Fisher. I mentioned Rachel Hurd celebrating a birthday today. O'Connor's just a couple of days ago. So a celebratory mood off the field for the Irish. Looking to celebrate a win on the field if they can close out the last 9 minutes and 9 seconds of game action today. O'Connor gets her first touch of game action today. Sends it into the box, looking for Martinez.
Not a bad look, and Martinez is there. Again, playing outside back, but all the way in the 18-yard box.
And we're routinely seeing this Notre Dame team not coming out. You mentioned it's a 4-3-3 by design, but when you look at the way this Notre Dame team is lined up, they have 2, sometimes 3 players along that back line, with Jade Gosar joining the fray a little bit more recently. But for the majority of this game, we've seen Shannon Hendricks and Rachel Hurd along that back line. But that's the Irish's last line of defense, just 2 players.
And yeah, it does leave them open to counterattack, but if you have the ball in offensive half, no worries there.
Very true. And if you're going to leave any players back on the defensive back line, if you're only going to leave 2 back there, Hurd and Hendricks, probably 2 of your better options. Seniors with a lot of experience playing for this Irish team, and they know how to react in those difficult scenarios when teams might try to pressure against them.
For sure. Rachel Hurd, no one can beat her in a foot race, and Hendricks is a very solid defensive player.
Here is Hurd back there to control, unable to clear it over midfield. Loyola threatening with just 7.5 minutes to play in regulation. Gosar back over to the far sideline to retrieve. Sends it out of play, intended for Westendorf, just a bit too far wide. Another good look for the Irish, but just out of the reach of Kelly Moss, and Moran sends it away downfield. Collision and a foul on Loyola. As Van Dyke was shoved off the ball. Back across the field to Hendricks. Into the middle with O'Connor, who makes a nice move to make a defender miss. Martinez makes one defender miss, makes a second miss, and taken down in the box. A lot of contact from both sides, and the officials ruling that Martinez was the offending party.
Tatterin did a good job of there and stepping in Martinez's path, make sure she didn't get on the end of the ball in the box.
Nice defense from Tatterin, junior from Plymouth, Minnesota. Played ahead. Hurd chips it over to Gosar. And Tyrion wisely backing up, not allowing Loyola to put one behind her. Under 5.5 to play from Alumni Stadium. Irish still clinging to that 2-1 advantage after a scoreless first half and scoreless first half of the second period. Both teams really breaking out offensively. 3 goals combined in the last 15, 20 minutes. Hurd arranges back with Hendricks. And Tyrion boots it away out of danger. Martel Lamotte gets a foot on it, sends it upfield across the midfield stripe. Long pass ahead intended for Van Dijk. And Kokitha Patel wisely clears it away over the sideline. It's a Notre Dame team that was 7-2-2 at home last year. A lot of success here inside Alumni Stadium, the friendly confines as one might call it. Cross intended for Moss, but just over the head of Kelly Moss.
Bit of a hopeful look again, but I'm sure Moss wishes she was a couple inches taller. She would have had that one in the back of the net.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Martel Lamotte trying once again to get it back to Van Dijk. Kate O'Connor in the midfield. Sends it over the wide part of the field with Jade Gosar. Gosar with a lot of real estate on that right side. Into Westendorf just inside the box. And Patel handles, clears it away from Westendorf. Under 3 minutes to play. Irish still clinging to that 2-1 lead. 20 shots on the day for the Irish, just 4 for Loyola.
You see Jen's taking to the corner right now just to try and kill the game off. Want to make sure Loyola doesn't get it back in Notre Dame defensive half and get another opportunity.
O'Connor tried to chip it on ahead, but nobody in there for the Irish. Notre Dame just content now to play defensively. So Flores plays it over to the right side as the clock ticks down right around 2 minutes. And Katie, this would be a big win, especially building a lot of momentum as the Irish continue to look ahead into the rest of their schedule. They'll play a couple of home games against Stony Brook and Cincinnati before really facing the meat of their schedule. Ohio State and Stanford still looming on their schedule. Some tough opponents before the ACC schedule really kicks in. Certainly,
and this is a good comeback victory for the Irish to test their mental strength before they really get into the meat of their season. They're just still trying to work out the kinks.
So after this matchup with the Ramblers, 6 more non-conference games upcoming before really the Irish take on the meat of their ACC slate. They get Cincinnati and Ohio State at home as the calendar turns to November. That first big ACC game at home comes against NC State on September 16th.
Irish looking to get a little bit of a redemption in that game for sure. They lost to NC State in the ACC quarterfinals. I believe it was 4-1, and one of their top players scored a hat trick against the Irish, and so left a bit of a bad taste in the mouth for sure.
And that came after the Irish really handled their business against NC State here in the regular season. So both teams getting their share of victory in 2017. Irish now just needing to salt away the last 40 seconds. Keeping possession in the corner. Eventually giving it away. And a wise play from Westendorf just to send it over to the wide side of the field. And let those seconds continue to melt away. under 10 to go. This one played forward, but no real danger for the Irish, and they will escape with a 2-1 win. Notre Dame rebounds from a misplay in the back line, but ultimately able to get that 2-1 win, Katie. They moved to 2-0 on the season. Your thoughts on the Irish performance here this afternoon?
Great effort by the Irish to come from behind. They should not be satisfied with this game. Again, not a very good offensive showing. They generated 20 shots, but only 2 goals. Look to get a little more finesse and composure in front of them that make sure that they put teams like this away, so that when they get to their ACC slate against teams like UNC, UVA, Duke, they're able to capitalize on the fewer opportunities that they're going to have.
Loyola Chicago scores its first ever goal against the Irish, but the one goal not enough. Notre Dame moves to 7-0 on the season in their all-time history against the Ramblers. 7-0, outscoring Loyola now 43-1 as Loyola gets its first ever goal against Notre Dame. Comes here on the site of Alumni Stadium, where Loyola had its last NCAA tournament appearance. But the Irish get the win today. Let's go down to Holden with today's hero, Jen Westendorf.
Jen, back-to-back wins to open the season. What do you hope to accomplish in 2018?
I think we want to win a national championship, obviously. I think we have the team to win it. Everyone's out there working hard, so that's our goal.
You scored the game-winning goal deep in the second half. Take us through the build-up and what was going through your head.
I mean, we were tied 1-1, and I needed to do anything we could to get a goal, so I put my body on the line for the team.
Jen, thanks so much for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Juan Jose.
Thanks so much, Holden, and great to see Jen Westendorf finally getting on the board after so many close opportunities. Katie, it was great to see her finally capitalize.
For sure, and especially after being out those first 2 games, great to see her back in the starting lineup, get some good shots off, and get a goal for total.
So for my partner, Katie Euler, my producer, Tony Simeone, I'm Juan Jose Rodriguez saying so long from Alumni Stadium, where the final score is Notre Dame 2 and Loyola 1. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other events on the ACC Network Extra, visit WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the ACC Network Extra.